Damn!
Hello, and welcome to the channel. So full disclosure, I really wanted to hate this car. I thought the chance of this thing being able to hang with cars like Ferraris, Corvettes, and Vipers was the stuff of pure imagination. Turns out I was completely wrong. After playing around with multiple builds for the 700 World Touring Circuit, the insane fuel consumption and tire wear needed to complete those races, it actually turns out that this little car is the stuff of dreams. It was finally time to swallow my pride and try the Suzuki Swift Sport. I mean, it's not that ugly, if you like the looks of a fridge with headlights, but man can this thing handle. This thing corners like it's on rails. So it's ugly, but amazingly functional. And that's a car I figured was worth a specific tune to help clear out those pesky World Touring races. The Z333 Swift Sport started production in 2018. It was well received as a sport hatchback that was fun to drive, and honestly that transcends into the game incredibly well. This car is actually fun to drive. This particular car is based on the Gitana edition. It included updated fender flares, front and rear bumpers. In terms of the game version, the Gr4 has a large front spoiler, GT style wing, and a roll cage. The base version of the Swift is powered by a turbocharged 1.4 liter engine. This has been beefed up dramatically to compete at the 700 performance point level. So after a few test laps and refining the tune, I found that this car could not only keep up with any other car on the track, but the fuel economy advantage alone allows you on most tracks to pit a single time, of course that's weather permitting, giving you a distinct advantage in terms of overall time. And with that all out of the way, let's get into the tune. So in terms of performance, we're going to take this car from 366 performance points to 699. Max power goes from 345 horsepower to 462. Torque increases from 325 to 403. Acceleration and handling improve with the adjustments we're going to make to the suspension. So in terms of permanent upgrades, it's actually stock. There is nothing additional you need to buy for this car that'll permanently alter the dynamics. In terms of performance upgrades, the only one that I could remember picking up was the high RPM turbocharger. You will also need racing hard tires, intermediate and wet. I believe the car comes stock with fully customized suspension, differential, a racing transmission, as well as a full control computer and racing muffler and brakes. If it's missing any of those, just pick them up and add them to your tune. You'll need to also pick up a ballast and a power restrictor because we are going to detune the engine a few notches for this build. So in terms of tuning adjustments, I've lowered the ride height, tightened the suspension, and adjusted the torque and acceleration to be a bit more aggressive. We also increased aero and shortened the gearing ratios. Out of the gate, the car actually handles well, but I found the steering a bit too punchy, and I wanted more stability accelerating out of corners and more predictable steering inputs. One thing to note on this tune is that it's a front-wheel drive car. Honestly, most of my time in this game is spent on rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, so I'm sure there might be some subtle adjustments you can tailor to make this more to your liking. So, there you have it. You have a high-performing box of a car that holds its own against hard AI and decent driving 700 cars. While I'm clearly not a fan of how this one looks, the car is legitimately fun to drive and has quick inputs and forgiving handling. I've tested it on all World Touring races and have had some great success. You'll notice the gearing is better served on short tracks, and you'll be somewhat limited to catching cars on long extended straights, so you either need to tweak the gear ratios to open it up a little, or just draft when you can. You'll still turn the fastest laps on the course. The AI is somewhat predictable, and will usually pit their car, giving you an advantage. At the start of the race, use fuel mapping 6, then once you get further into the race, you can do some quick math and adjust your mapping for slightly more power if you'd like. On courses like Dragontail, you will need to pit once, but just top up a bit of fuel and get back out there for an easy win. I'd recommend you leave 1 to 2 laps remaining prior to pitting, just in case you need to make up some time. So in terms of livery on this car, this livery is custom, but I didn't design this one. This was done by the creator on screen now, and mimics the 2022 Suzuki team. For real, any designer that can make this car look good legitimately deserves a like and a repost, so make sure you give this guy or girl some credit for the work here. In closing, I hope you enjoy this tune and your brand new Suzuki Swift. Despite not wanting to try this car out, I'm glad I did, and I've warmed up to the car a lot after driving it. It legit is a blast to drive. If you enjoy these tunes, please like and comment below. It greatly helps with my channel growth here on YouTube. If you're looking to connect with others around gaming in general, feel free to join our 22 Gaming Discord. We're a growing community of like-minded, mature gamers covering multiple titles. If you're looking to game with a good community across any time zone, 22 Gaming has you covered. As always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.